Good afternoon, members. Good afternoon, public.
You can start
At
now.
3:07 p.m., I'd like to begin the March 28th meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Board. Clerk, may we please call the roll?
Lisa Kaplan. Here. Karina Telemontes. Katie Valenzuela.
Here.
Katie Maple.
Here.
Mai Vang.
I'm here.
Phil Cerna. Patrick Kennedy. Rich Desmond. Sue Frost.
Here.
Pat Hume. Mary Jane Lopez Taff. Rod Brewer.
Here.
Kevin Spees.
Present.
Sean Farmer.
Here.
Garrett Gatewood. Bina Lefkowitz.
Here.
And we have a quorum with 8 members present.
Thank you, Clerk.
And
And
you can read the statement now.
I think for the record, for those who are mentioned absent, they have excused absences for this meeting. Now we can move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Supervisor Frost, would you love to do the honors?
I'd be delighted. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chair
may be
Brewer,
seated.
I will read the statement now.
Yes, please.
This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems. This meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.net. Today's meeting will be repeated Saturday, March 30 at 4 p.m. on Channel 14 and can also be viewed on Metro Cable 14's YouTube channel. The meeting will also be recorded via Zoom. A DVD copy will be available upon request no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. The full agenda, including reports, is available on the library website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should complete a speaker identification form located at the back table and give it to the clerk. Members attending via Zoom should raise their hand in the Zoom program. Please speak clearly when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard.
Thank you, Clerk. Now we'll move on to public comment on matters not on the agenda. I have one green form in front of me, and will Amanda Skibby please come forward and make your presentation?
Hello, Amanda Skibby. This will be pretty quick because I'm here today to introduce myself to the board. Amanda Skibby. I am the Local 39 business representative and chief negotiator for the employees employed by the Sacramento Public Library. I just wanted an opportunity to come introduce myself, and thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday weekend.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So now we'll move on to presentations. Before we go into item 3.1, we will carry item 3.2 and carry that over to the next meeting. That's the item dealing with the architecture and planning for the Martin Luther King Jr. Library design presentation. So we will move that over to the next meeting, and we will go to item 3.1, Friends of the Sacramento Public Library.
Hello, 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 members of the JPA. My name is Devon Graves, and I am a member of the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library. Thank you for the opportunity to present on behalf of our organization that makes up community members in the city and throughout the other cities and county in Sacramento. So our board last met, we had our All Friends meeting in February where we had close to 70 members present to engage in critical conversations about the Friends organization. At that meeting, we held our election where our officers were elected, and that is Anita Scurry, who's here in the audience, as our president, Rachel Caldor as our vice president, Chris Paveo as our treasurer, and Jillian Freese as our secretary. We're excited for our new leadership and looking forward to them as they lead us into the next chapter of the Friends. I want to make sure to give a shout out to Bina Lefkowitz, who attended our All Friends meeting and got to engage and speak to those 70 community members from across our area. Thank you so much for coming. I know the members appreciated it, and that invite to all members of the JPA remains open. Please come out and engage with our community folks because they love to hear about your role on the JPA and your other respective roles that you serve in the community. So I have an item that was placed before you on the dais. So this is our 2023, a year of growth, is what our former president Fred Dobb classified this. You can see some of the facts and figures of 2023. I'll just quickly highlight a couple of those things. $150,000 donated to system and branch friends, so we're so excited about that number. $105,000 raised for Book First and summer reading. We have about 3,200 members across our 29 affiliates, and 41,000 hours volunteered across our library and Bookton, so we're super excited about that. Another item that you don't have in front of you, but I'll make sure you get a copy at a later time, is an event that we have happening at our Bookton. It's a children's book giveaway that's happening on April 7th. 2024 at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we have hundreds of brand new children's books available for teachers, schools, libraries, and organizations that promote reading. We will be giving them away for free. So please share the word with that. I will make sure you get a copy so you can share this with your constituents. But just a quick little story. We got a donation of a lot of Lord of the Rings books. So if anyone is a fan or you know anyone that you want to get them to be a fan, there will be a lot of Lord of the Rings on hand. And then the last thing before I pass this over to our president, Anita Scurry, is we are starting the JPA Challenge. I want all members of the JPA to be members of the Friends. So if you're not a member, no worries. We're going to make sure that Heather gets this and passes out so that you all can sign up to be a member of the Friends. I think it's so important to be a part of it. You can be a system Friends. You can sign up to be a friend at your local affiliate, but it's so important. And I will check in with you all at your next meeting to see how we're doing on the progress. So it's only $20 a year. It's $20 a year, folks. That's a good going rate. So I just want to thank you again for the opportunity, and if you don't mind, I would like to yield the floor to our president, Anita Scurry, for a quick announcement. Thank you.
I've been here before. I was president for 3 years pre-pandemic, and my goals this year and our organization's goals align in that we are trying to bring ourselves back to some degree of normality after the pandemic, which means looking at our internal processes related to finances and other sorts of things, developing training for our affiliates, because everybody needs to understand the structure. People don't understand the difference between the Friends and the library. They say, well, I must be a member of the Friends because I have a library card. It's like, well, no, that's not quite how it works. So we're trying to bring our organization together and improve it and come more into the 21st century, which when you have a group whose average age is a lot older than everybody here is a tough thing sometimes. One of our goals is to increase our communications with our affiliate friends, to provide them with training, as I said, and to improve our relationship with you, or at least try to develop a relationship so that you know who we are, what we do for the library. And this year we will likely be doing a lot because we are your advocacy face for the parcel tax renewal campaign. And we've been in contact with, Karina Talamantes has been in contact with us, and we're trying to work together in a partnership to make sure we all have a vested interest in seeing this happen. My branch is a county branch. It doesn't matter because there's a ripple effect should this not pass. It'll ripple from the city branches into the county branches, and we're all aware of that, and we don't want to see that happen. And we know people love the library, and we hope to be a good face for the library's advocacy. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, part of the challenge here, is the Friends raise money primarily on the big day of giving for the library to give books to first graders in underserved schools. 50% or greater reduced or free price meals. That's the criteria for a child in the first grade to qualify for 2 free books. So last year, if you look at, and we also are trying to, our mission and our goal is to supplement, not supplant, public funding. And so we understand what our role is there. But last year, over 40,000 books were given between Book First and summer reading to children and teens. And that's an awful lot of books to promote year-round reading and literacy, which is what the library is promoting. So we hope you'll support that endeavor in any way that you can. We don't have a lot of people who do social media in a very good way. So if we give you something that you can post or repost that we've given you, we would really love to have that kind of help. We take contributions too. So we hope that you will share in this endeavor in some fashion. And I'm guessing you don't have any questions, but if you do, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
presentation. And for those directors who would like to speak, press the request to speak button, and we will acknowledge you in the presentation. So first we have Director Maple.
Thank you, Chair. And if it's all right with you, I would like to do a round of applause to congratulate the new board. Wonderful, wonderful work. Thank you. Really grateful for the work that you do, and to have the new leadership or renewed leadership. Sounds like you've been in that role previously. Really glad to have you back in it.
Thank you.
And I was shocked that I am not a paying friend, and I certainly will be. So thank you for the invitation to come and contribute. That's definitely something I want to do. One question I have is, do you ever does the organization ever do any, helpful development for other organizations that might want to become Friends chapters? And I'm thinking specifically, we don't have a library there right now yet, but there's a group in Oak Park that is, they call themselves the Friends of the Oak Park Library, not currently a library there at the moment, though there is an advocacy effort. And my understanding is that there has been an application made to Congresswoman Matsui's office, and kind of that ball is rolling. But they do kind of lack in capacity or maybe understanding of how that process works. So I'm just wondering, is there someone I can maybe connect them with that'd be willing to talk them through what that looks like?
I'm not sure we know what that would look like because I've been on the Friends board since 2014 in one capacity or another. And there has been talk in the past about a library for Oak Park, which would mean a Friends, we would hope, for Oak Park. And of course, that hasn't come to fruition. I would be happy, we have a new email address for me, and I'll have to share that. But I'd be happy to talk to this group if there is an actual group of people interested in trying to advocate for it. I know we try to let the library take the lead on whether there should be another library. But if I would at least I'd be willing to explore that with them.
Wonderful. I'll get in contact.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you for the comments.
I forgot, we have several people on Zoom from our board. We have Diane Gregory from McClatchy, and we have Pam Whiteley, who is from Rancho Cordova and who runs the Book Den. And if you've never been to the Book Den, it is an 80 to 100,000 used book warehouse, where the most expensive book in the warehouse is $2. And the funds are raised for the library. There's also a store where the books cost more, but it's quite an endeavor run entirely by volunteers. And if you've never been there, it's probably like one of the biggest bookstores in town. I recommend it.
This is great information, and be really interested in doing that visit or tour.
We're going to have one upcoming. Fred Dobb is arranging it, and we'll see that you get the information. It's going to be a book crawl. Yeah. Okay, all right.
I like that. No, thank you.
Okay.
So now we have Director Lefkowitz.
Yeah, I just wanted to just share how impressed I am with your organization. These numbers to me are really impressive. My heart really goes along with the book first and summer reading, because our kiddos we have so many young people that don't have access to books at home. And so, I just am excited about the work you're doing, and I hope our partnership between the library and the Friends can keep growing, and, so we can all serve our community better. So thank you.
I would like to invite you, Christy Ham would be the person who could tell you how to do this, but next year when books are distributed to first graders, please sign up to come along. It's a very rewarding experience. It is sad when you see how many first graders raise their hands and say they don't have any books at home. This is their first book. But it's really rewarding to see their enthusiasm and excitement as they get their 2 new books. And you're all welcome to come and participate. And I'm sure it could be arranged through the youth services. Peter's shaking his head yes, so that's a good sign.
Great. Director Spees.
So, didn't know I wasn't a member, didn't know that there was a member thing. And now I am a member, when my head was down, I was signing up online. So for everybody to know, it's a very, very quick process.
Thank you.
And you can check me off the list for the check next time I'm signed up. So thank you very much.
Nice subtle hint.
Did my part.
So have any other directors would like to make a question or make a comment?
Just thank you for everything you do, for all that you do. It's
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Thanks.
So I want to, thank you all for your presentation. This was very educational, very informative, and really appreciate the membership drive and being able to get some of our directors signed up immediately. That's really good news. Anytime we can have like a quick turnaround like that is a positive thing. And then for the members and for your fellow members who are online, I want to thank you all for being a part of today's meeting, because for all the work that the Friends of the Library does for our community is major. And so I want to thank you all for everything you do and continue to do for the greater Sacramento community. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of this. So now, as we'll go on to item 3.1, we've already dispensed with that, and now we go to executive team report. Item 4.1, Mr. Coyle.
Thank you, Chair Brewer. We have a written report, and I'd like to highlight specifically Election Day that occurred. Through the help of many volunteers, Friends included, we were able to have lots of our locations open to be vote places on Election Day, and throughout the course of the election, we also had ballot drop boxes during library hours as well. And we'd like to note that the library locations were responsible for receiving 27% of all the ballots in Sacramento County, and that's an increase of last time, which was 24%. We had some very robust turnout at specifically Del Paso Heights Library was a very robust election site as well. So we're very happy that we're able to continue to partner with the county to provide this vital service to our democracy, and it was really great. Deputy Director Keller and I volunteered at one library, and a gentleman rode up in a very well-loved Volkswagen van, and he was, I wouldn't even begin to guess his age, but he was older than myself, and older than Director Keller, I think. And the gentleman had never voted before, and it was his first time voting. So those are the reasons why we do these sorts of things, so that we can help our residents participate in this process we have in America. So we're very grateful to our friends and the volunteers who helped assist that, and to our staff who adjusted their schedules to be open early and late hours to accommodate those things. We also had a very successful first book club with Sacramento Kings player Trey Lyles. We did that in a a different way. We've never done one before, but we had an in-person component and an online component. You may know or may not know that Mr. Lyles is an avid reader. He's often found on social media with a book in hand during practice and games. In fact, there's an Instagram account dedicated to his reading habits. So he partnered with us to do this book club, and the book he collected or he suggested was The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. It's a very fascinating book, and in fact, the discussion at the book club was the difference between the act of reading the book versus listening to the audiobook, and there are some different experience people had. But that book had over 475 checkouts. It was a very popular title, and so we're really excited to continue that as we're able to. And I just want to highlight two facility updates that are in the report. The Bell Coolidge Library continues to be closed. It is undergoing some exterior facade work, and that is progressing very rapidly. The city is doing a very good job of that, and it's progressing well. We are expecting it to be closed for a number of months. It's been closed for about a month now, so probably about 3 more months. We will update the board when we know more of an opening date. And then the South Natomas Library will be closing March 29th, which is tomorrow, through April 13th to have some carpet replaced. There are some other projects happening, but those don't entail the facility being closed. And we're also happy that the McClatchy sunroom is going to be replaced. In the packet here, there's a diagram the city's provided, and that was due to some degradation and some damage that occurred in a storm, but that has been removed and is going to be replaced. So we're excited that that is progressing as well. And I'd also like to highlight in this report some of the media coverage that we've received. Our communications team is being very active, and we've seen an increase in engagement and publicity with a number of our items on various social media channels. And we've reached over 414 million people or views with this, with an average equivalent of $3.8 million in advertising costs. So social media is working very well for us, and we're seeing lots of engagement from our community and great response to the programs we have. So that ends my report, and I have to answer any questions and comments the board might have.
Thank you, Mr. Coyle. Want to open it up for the public, see if there are any public comments. Seeing and hearing no comments or any messages in my hands, I will turn it over to my directors. Director Spees.
Just a quick one, Director Coyle. I saw on KCRA that yourself and Mr. Keller and Ms. Crothwit were at the doing the ballot drop-off, and what I thought was great was pink boxes. The flowers were in bloom. The plum, it looked really, really nice. It was great to see you out there and supporting democracy, and so thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you reminded me, because I thought it was really nice to see over the couple of hours the KCRA was covering it, that you were out there and hustling. You're out there hustling and getting the cars. So thank you much.
Thank you. I was happy to do it. It was very fun. Yeah.
Any other directors with comments? Thank you, Peter. Great comment, great commentary, and great review. Greatly appreciated. So now we'll go on to item 5.1, monthly financial report. I think Johnny does this every month?
These are informational items, so unless the board has any questions, they're just for information.
Okay. So I'm looking at these. Have any comments or any questions on any of the items from 5.1 to 5.4? Got a pretty happy crowd right here. I like that. So now we'll move on to the consent calendar. We have item 6.1 to 6.6. Got a motion by Director Maple, second by Director Kaplan.
Don't we have to have public comment first?
So I'm going to open up for public comment. Hearing and seeing none. Madam Clerk, may we open the roll for a vote?
Lisa Kaplan. Aye. Karina Talamantes. Katie Valenzuela.
Yes.
Katie Maple,
Aye.
Mai Vang,
Yes.
Phil Cerna, Patrick Kennedy, Rich Desmond, Sue Frost,
Aye.
Pat Hume, Mary Jane Lopez Taff, Rod Brewer,
Aye.
Kevin Spees,
Aye.
Sean Farmer,
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood, Bina Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Motion passes with 8 members.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have item 7 for action. We have no items for action. Item number 8 for reports, ideas, and questions from board members. We have Director Spees with the first up.
I have nothing. I think I forgot to undo my request to speak button. Sorry.
Thank you, Director Spees. Director Kaplan.
Thank you. I just want to follow up on Director Spees. I did the same thing, except I joined as a family member, so my kids can come. And then I posted on social media. Because thank you for making the link. After you go through, it says tweet. I'm sorry, it's not X, it's tweet. So I went online, and I think it's just really important. And I really appreciate visuals, these. It's easy to take a picture and also post it on social media, as that's also a medium our younger generation tends to look at, and how do we encourage them about coming to our libraries and how cool it is. My kids know, but I think when they start getting in their 20s, it gets a little missed. But I got to tell you, I'm biased, but you know, your election team that you have at the North Natomas Library, I love visiting them every year. It's great to have conversation, and you really do get good volunteers to come out. So thank you for all your work.
Thank you, Director Kaplan. Director Lefkowitz.
I do want to thank you for your being voting centers. I think making it easy for people to vote is just so important, so thank you for that. The other thing I just wanted to share with you all is I'm very proud, because I don't know if you realize this, but the Juvenile Hall has a library inside Juvenile Hall that the County Office of Education runs, because we're the education entity for Juvenile Hall. And our librarian at that library received she was named the 2024 School Librarian of the Year by the School Library Journal. It is an award sponsored by Scholastic and is bestowed for exemplary service to students for creativity, outreach, and use of technology tools, along with outstanding teacher collaboration and student engagement. And so, believe it or not, when kids come to the Juvenile Hall, they read, because there's not a lot of other things to do, and it's astounding how many kids pick up reading who really are not readers by nature, by their past. So, and she's wonderful. If any of you want to come visit the library at Juvenile Hall, and just maybe Juvenile Hall itself, and see how we teach children there, please let me know. But I'm very proud, and I wanted you guys to know that, because she's a librarian, but she works for the county office. So thank you.
Thank you for those comments, Director Lefkowitz. Very, very helpful and very timely. But I do want to thank the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library for being here today and kicking off their drive, because to have 2 people sign up and to have one of your directors send out a tweet instantaneously, that's pretty impressive. You might want to come around here more often on some of our drives and initiatives. But if there's no other comments from the directors, looking at the time of 3:35, I know this is not the world's fastest library board meeting, but it's pretty darn close to it. So until next month, we are adjourned.